In the quiet depths of our most solitary moments, we might wonder, is there truly a purpose to it all? Today, we delve into the reflections of Emile Cioran, a thinker who faced existential despair head-on. Living during the tumultuous 20th century, Cioran witnessed a world in chaos, a world that appeared to be unraveling at the seams. Wars, political upheaval, and rapid societal changes marked his era. Against this backdrop, Cioran embarked on a profound philosophical journey, one that questioned the very foundations of human existence. Born in Romania in 1911, Cioran later moved to France, where he spent much of his life. He wrote in French, crafting essays that struck at the core of human anxieties. Cioran was influenced by earlier existentialists, yet he carved a distinct path. He was no stranger to the works of Nietzsche, Kierkegaard, and Schopenhauer. These thinkers, each in their own way, grappled with the meaning, or seeming lack thereof, of life. But Cioran's reflections took a darker turn. He did not merely question purpose, he often denied its existence outright. Cioran argued that life lacked divine purpose. In doing so, he challenged comforting religious narratives that offered solace to many. His perspective was not one of simple disbelief, but rather a confrontation with the absence of meaning. For Cioran, existential anguish was the natural state of humanity once stripped of illusions. He saw religious and spiritual explanations as cons to the raw reality of our existence. This view was not meant to dismiss outright the comfort others found in faith. Rather, it was an invitation to face the starkness of life without flinching. In Cioran's world, human existence is defined by suffering and absurdity. He believed that life did not follow a benevolent design or higher order. To him, the universe was indifferent, unmoved by human desires or suffering. This perspective placed Cioran at odds with many who sought meaning in the cosmos. Yet he saw this acceptance of absurdity as a form of liberation. By acknowledging the randomness of existence, one might find a strange freedom. Cioran suggested that it is only by facing the absurd that we begin to live authentically. His reflections offered a somber, yet profound, lens through which to view life's struggles. By acknowledging suffering, Cioran believed we could gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world. This acknowledgement, he argued, is not a resignation to despair. Instead, it can be a path to inner clarity and strength. For Cioran, to accept life's inherent absurdity was to embrace its unpredictability and chaos. It was an invitation to engage with life fully, without the crutch of false certainties. Critics of Cioran often argue that his worldview promotes nihilism. After all, if life lacks purpose, what is left but despair? Yet Cioran countered this argument with a different perspective. He suggested that recognizing the void could lead to authenticity and personal freedom. In his eyes, the absence of predetermined meaning allows for a radical form of freedom. It is an opportunity to define one's path and values without external imposition. This freedom is not without its challenges, but it is profound in its potential for personal growth. Cioran's writing urges us to question deeply held assumptions about the world and ourselves. His exploration of existential anguish is not meant to leave us in hopelessness. Instead, it is a call to wakefulness, to a more vivid engagement with life as it is. By accepting life's inherent uncertainty, we might discover unexpected beauty and depth. This perspective encourages a form of living that is both grounded and open to possibility. In a world often obsessed with finding definitive answers, Cioran's reflections offer a different path. They suggest that embracing uncertainty can be transformative. By letting go of the need for guaranteed purpose, we may find new ways to connect with others and ourselves. Cioran challenges us to find meaning in the very act of questioning, in the journey rather than the destination. His work invites us to see the beauty in moments of doubt and to recognize the potential within the unknown. In embracing existential anguish, Cioran did not shy away from the harsh realities of life. Instead, he faced them unflinchingly, offering insights that continue to resonate today. His writings remind us that life, in all its complexity, is a gift to be explored, not a problem to be solved. As we navigate our own paths, Cioran's thoughts encourage us to hold space for both despair and possibility. They invite us to live with courage, even in the face of uncertainty. In the next part of this exploration, we will delve deeper into Cioran's philosophy and its implications for our modern world. Stay with us as we continue to seek understanding through the lens of thoughtful inquiry. Critics often contend that Cioran's worldview is steeped in nihilism. They argue that a life devoid of intrinsic purpose leaves nothing but despair. This critique hinges on a misunderstanding, one that Cioran himself addressed. Rather than advocating for despair, he suggested that the absence of predetermined meaning could foster authenticity. In Cioran's view, when we are not bound by imposed values, we can cultivate personal freedom. This freedom is challenging, yet it holds immense potential for personal development. Without a prescribed path, individuals are tasked with forging their own. This process, while daunting, invites a deeper understanding of one's self and one's place in the world. Embracing the void, Cioran believed, was not a descent into hopelessness. Rather, it was an opportunity to witness life in its raw, unfiltered state. By acknowledging the lack of inherent meaning, we might appreciate life more honestly. This appreciation is not about resignation. Instead, it is about engaging with life on its own unpredictable terms. In doing so, we open ourselves to experiences and insights we might otherwise overlook. Cioran saw this as a profound shift from passive acceptance to active participation in life. This approach challenges us to explore life's depths without clinging to the false comfort of certainty. Through his reflections, Cioran invites us to question the narratives that often shape our understanding of life. This questioning is not a destructive act. Instead, it is one of rebuilding and redefining. By dismantling preconceived notions, we create space for a more genuine engagement with reality. This process is not without its difficulties, yet it offers a path to a more enriched existence, one that values personal insights over societal dictates. Cioran's philosophy urges us to be present in the uncertainties, finding clarity within chaos. In embracing existential anguish, Cioran did not advocate for an existence mired in gloom. Instead, he encouraged a more profound, conscious appreciation of life. This appreciation comes from facing life's unpredictability with courage and openness. It is through this lens that we might find meaning in the seemingly mundane. Every experience becomes an opportunity for reflection and growth. This perspective invites us to see beauty, not despite life's challenges, but because of them. It is a call to live with integrity, even when confronted with life's inherent unpredictability. Cioran's writings serve as a mirror, reflecting the complexities of human existence. They remind us that life is a tapestry woven from moments of joy and despair alike. By embracing this duality, we can cultivate a richer understanding of what it means to be human. This understanding is not static. It evolves as we do. Cioran's insights encourage us to remain open to life's myriad possibilities. In doing so, we might discover new facets of ourselves and the world around us. It is this journey, rather than any definitive answer, that holds the key to a fulfilling life. As we conclude this exploration of Cioran's reflections, we are left with a sense of both challenge and possibility. His philosophy invites us to reconsider the foundations upon which we build our lives. It urges us to venture beyond the familiar, to seek meaning in life's uncertainties. By doing so, we may uncover a deeper, more genuine appreciation for the world and our place within it. Cioran's legacy is one of introspection and courage, encouraging us to live with authenticity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Cioran's thought-provoking reflections. As we continue to explore the ideas of great thinkers, we invite you to ponder life's ultimate questions with us. To delve deeper into Cioran's philosophy, we must examine the broader context in which he wrote. Born in Romania in 1911, Cioran's formative years were marked by the tumultuous interwar period. He witnessed the rise of authoritarian regimes and experienced the existential dread that saturated Europe at the time. This backdrop informs his reflections on the precariousness of human life. Cioran moved to Paris in 1937, where he would eventually write many of his works in French. This transition from his native Romanian language to French represents more than a mere change of medium. It signifies a philosophical evolution. In French, Cioran found a language that allowed him to probe the depths of despair with elegance and precision. His aphoristic style, sharp and succinct, mirrors his belief that life's truths are often found in brevity and contradiction. Critics of Cioran have often labeled his work as nihilistic. They argue that his relentless focus on despair leaves little room for hope. However, Cioran himself counters this interpretation. He believed that acknowledging life's inherent suffering does not equate to resignation. Instead, it is an invitation to confront and transcend our limitations. In The Trouble with Being Born, he writes that life's absurdity can be a source of liberation. This paradoxical view invites readers to find freedom in recognizing that existence does not come with predetermined meanings. Consider the historical examples that Cioran might evoke. The Stoics, who lived through the chaotic periods of Roman history, also found meaning in accepting the uncontrollable nature of life. Like Marcus Aurelius, who wrote during the Antonine Plague, Cioran saw that by accepting the limits of human understanding, one can cultivate a sense of inner peace. Aurelius famously noted that the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Similarly, Cioran suggests that by reframing our thoughts around inevitability, we can learn to embrace life's vicissitudes. Yet, Cioran's philosophy does not go unchallenged. Existentialists such as Jean-Paul Sartre might argue that his outlook lacks the affirmation of individual agency and freedom. Sartre posited that existence precedes essence, meaning that individuals must create their own values through choices. For Sartre, despair is a starting point from which one must act, rather than a condition to be meditated upon indefinitely. Cioran might acknowledge these critiques, but would emphasize a different kind of freedom. His focus is not on the heroic assertion of autonomy, but on the subtle liberation found in accepting life's chaos. Cioran finds a sublime beauty in surrendering to the universe's indifference. This perspective echoes the Buddhist concept of non-attachment, wherein liberation is achieved not through control, but through letting go of the desire to impose order on the chaos. Further, Cioran's reflection engages with the idea of life's grandeur and its transience. He suggests that our awareness of mortality can deepen our appreciation for existence, much like the moments captured by artists during the Romantic period, who found beauty in the ephemeral and the sublime. Cioran invites us to savor life's fleeting moments. Each instance becomes precious precisely because it is bound to pass. In practical terms, Cioran's philosophy may resonate with those facing personal crises or existential uncertainty. For example, in navigating the unpredictability of modern life, his reflections provide comfort in the acceptance of impermanence. In a world where societal norms and expectations often dictate one's path, Cioran's emphasis on introspection and authenticity encourages a more personal and meaningful engagement with life. Ultimately, Cioran's reflections challenge us to reconsider our relationship with the unknown. His insights encourage a journey inward, asking us to examine the narratives we live by and the meanings we construct. By embracing the chaos rather than fleeing it, we might uncover a profound sense of peace and purpose beyond conventional frameworks. As we continue to engage with such philosophical inquiries, we are reminded that the essence of philosophical exploration lies not in definitive answers, but in the questions themselves. Cioran's legacy invites us to live with curiosity and vulnerability, embracing the uncertainties that define our existence. This approach fosters a dynamic and evolving understanding of what it means to be human, where meaning is not inherited, but continuously created through our lived experiences. Cioran's philosophy stands in stark contrast to the existentialist embrace of action and choice. His perspective invites us to see not futility, but rather the potential richness found in relinquishing control. Consider the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who also advocated for a form of inner freedom. He famously held that while we cannot control external events, we can manage our responses to them. While Cioran does not adopt the Stoics' emphasis on rationality and virtue, he shares this focus on an internal liberation. Both philosophies, though differing in their conclusions, suggest that true freedom lies not in external circumstances, but in one's inner orientation. Critics of Cioran might argue that his emphasis on surrender can lead to passivity or nihilism. Yet, such critiques may overlook that Cioran is less concerned with prescribing a way to live than with offering a lens through which to see life differently. His perspective can be seen as complementary to more action-oriented philosophies. For instance, Cioran's acceptance of chaos can coexist with existentialist calls to create meaning. By recognizing the limits of control, individuals may engage with life more authentically, choosing actions aligned with deeper values rather than societal pressures. Historically, Cioran's thoughts can be situated within a broader intellectual tradition that questions the Enlightenment's emphasis on reason and progress. Like Nietzsche before him, Cioran challenges the modern faith in rationality and the linear narrative of human advancement. Nietzsche famously declared that God is dead, a metaphor for the decline of absolute values in the face of modernity. Cioran echoes this sentiment, yet rather than seeking to construct new values, he revels in the ambiguity left behind. His reflections invite a postmodern analysis where meaning is not fixed but fluid, shaped by transient experiences and personal interpretations. One might question whether Cioran's embrace of chaos and impermanence provides sufficient guidance for ethical action. Without absolute values or clear directives, how does one navigate moral decisions? Here, Cioran's philosophy might be seen as a call to personal responsibility rather than an avoidance of it. In the absence of universal truths, individuals must engage deeply with their own convictions, making ethical choices that reflect their authentic selves. This approach aligns with existentialist themes, but diverges in its acceptance of uncertainty as a permanent condition rather than a problem to be solved. Cioran's contemplation of mortality, reminiscent of existentialist themes, offers a poignant reminder of life's brevity. This awareness can inspire a heightened sensitivity to everyday moments, in a manner similar to the Japanese notion of mono no aware, which appreciates the transient beauty of life. Cioran encourages us to find depth in the fleeting. This perspective is not a resignation, but a celebration of life in its impermanence. Such a view can foster a deeper gratitude for existence, as each moment becomes a unique, unrepeatable experience. Consider the practical implications of Cioran's philosophy in contemporary life, marked by rapid change and uncertainty. In an era dominated by technology and constant connectivity, the acceptance of chaos serves as a counterbalance to the pursuit of control and certainty. For those grappling with anxiety over the future or dissatisfaction with societal norms, Cioran's reflections offer a path to inner peace. By embracing the unpredictable nature of existence, individuals might find a more sustainable fulfillment, detached from external validation or rigid expectations. In summary, Cioran's philosophy represents a nuanced exploration of existence that challenges us to rethink our assumptions about control, meaning, and freedom. His reflections do not offer easy answers, but rather engage us in a dialogue with life's inherent uncertainties. Through this engagement, we are invited to forge a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us, crafting a life that resonates with personal truth. Thus, Cioran leaves us not with a set path, but with the courage to navigate the unknown, finding beauty and meaning in the very chaos we might otherwise fear. To further understand Cioran's contribution to philosophical discourse, we should delve into his critique of ideologies and his skepticism toward systematic thought. Cioran was wary of grand narratives and ideologies that claim to offer definitive answers. His skepticism is rooted in his belief that such ideologies often mask the complexity of human experience. Cioran viewed history as a series of failed experiments in search of meaning, each ideology eventually unraveling under the weight of its contradictions. This perspective can be situated within a broader historical context. Consider the tumultuous events of the 20th century, marked by world wars and the proliferation of totalitarian regimes. Cioran himself witnessed the rise and fall of such ideologies, which no doubt informed his skepticism. In The Trouble with Being Born, Cioran writes about the futility of attempting to impose order on a fundamentally chaotic world. This echoes the disillusionment felt by many intellectuals in the post-war era, who question the validity of progress and rationality. Cioran's challenge to ideological certainty can be seen as a precursor to postmodern critiques of meta-narratives. Jean-François Lyotard's notion of the incredulity toward meta-narratives aligns with Cioran's distrust of grandiose claims. However, unlike some postmodern thinkers who revel in relativism, Cioran's approach is deeply personal. He compels us to grapple with our own beliefs and assumptions, not to dismiss them outright, but to recognize their contingent nature. Critics might argue that Cioran's rejection of ideological certainty leads to nihilism and passivity. If no truth is absolute, why strive for ethical action or social justice? Cioran would likely respond by emphasizing the importance of individual authenticity and engagement with one's own moral compass. This is not to say that action is futile, but rather that it must be grounded in personal conviction rather than blind adherence to dogma. To illustrate this point, consider Cioran's engagement with the concept of failure. He saw failure not as an endpoint, but as an integral part of the human condition. In A Short History of Decay, he explores how recognizing our limits can lead to a more profound understanding of self. Failure then becomes a tool for self-discovery rather than a source of despair. This aligns with the existential notion of creating meaning through choice, albeit without the existentialist's emphasis on overcoming absurdity. Cioran's philosophy can also be applied to contemporary societal issues. In a world grappling with climate change, political polarization, and technological upheaval, his insights offer a way to navigate complexity without resorting to simplistic solutions. Embracing uncertainty does not mean abandoning action, but encourages innovative and adaptive responses to challenges. For instance, in environmental policy, Cioran's perspective might support the idea of resilient systems that can adapt to changing conditions rather than rigid frameworks that assume predictability. Moreover, Cioran's reflections can enrich our understanding of mental well-being. In an age of self-help mantras and prescriptive paths to happiness, his acceptance of life's inherent difficulties offers a refreshing alternative. Cioran acknowledged the shadow side of existence, suggesting that confronting, rather than avoiding, inner turmoil is essential to personal growth. This stance resonates with contemporary psychological approaches that emphasize the integration of negative emotions rather than their suppression. Yet, Cioran's philosophy is not without its detractors. Some argue that his work, with its focus on despair and futility, risks paralyzing rather than empowering individuals. While his writings are permeated with a sense of existential gloom, it is crucial to recognize the underlying call to engage with life's complexities. His skepticism serves as a catalyst for introspection, not as a deterrent to participation in the world. In defense of his position, Cioran might point to the transformative potential of embracing ambiguity. By acknowledging the limits of human understanding, we are freed from the pressure of finding definitive answers. This opens space for creativity and exploration, allowing for a more flexible approach to life's challenges. Thus, Cioran's legacy is one of provocative inquiry rather than prescriptive philosophy. His reflections invite us to question the very foundation of our beliefs and to find strength in uncertainty. By engaging with his work, we are encouraged to cultivate a personal philosophy that resonates with our unique experiences and aspirations. In this way, Cioran's thought remains a potent force within the landscape of contemporary philosophy, urging us to confront the chaos of existence with courage and curiosity. In summary, Emile Cioran's philosophy presents a paradox. It simultaneously challenges us with despair and liberates us through acceptance. By engaging with the complexities of life and embracing uncertainty, we uncover possibilities for resilience and creativity. Cioran's insights encourage us to engage deeply with our experiences and to develop a personal philosophy that is both adaptive and authentic. His work invites a continual reevaluation of our assumptions and an open-minded approach to the unknown. An open question remains: how can we balance the acceptance of life's inherent uncertainties with the pursuit of meaningful goals? This inquiry is at the heart of existential reflection and continues to provoke thought and dialogue. Thank you for listening to this exploration of Cioran's philosophy. Join us next time as we delve into another thinker who challenges our perceptions of reality.